Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube video. Today I'm going to be talking about my boob job experience, and yeah, hopefully the information in this video will help some of you lovely ladies out there that are either considering a breast augmentation and are looking for, or have one booked and are looking for a little bit more information. I know that I found these videos really helpful, and I was watching a lot of them in the lead up to my surgery. So yeah, hopefully you will enjoy this video today. I don't ramble on too much and you get some good information out of it. So first off, why did I decide to get a boob job? So I actually had a slight deformity. Now deformity, oh my god, it sounds like such a scary word actually, but it's very common. I actually had a mild case of tuberous breast, which is a lot more common than what you would think. There may be people watching me today that also had the same issue. So hi, welcome. So for years I was very self-conscious about my chest area, and at 27 I decided to take the plunge and to get my boobs done. Now, finding the right surgeon is so important. I was very nearly botched, which is really scary and terrifying actually to think about how easy that could have happened. So always recommend seeing more than one surgeon. Really do your research, read reviews online, and if you can, speak to people that have had their boobs done and get their thoughts and opinions, and find out what their experience was like. If you can speak to girls that have been to the surgeon that you're thinking about, then I would highly recommend doing that also. So I went to 4 consultations. The first 3 lasted about 5 to 20 minutes. It felt really rushed. None of them examined my chest, took measurements, felt how much breast tissue I had or anything like that. When I asked, I went in really unsure about what it was that I was looking for. The issue that I have, basically it's your breasts don't develop quite the way that they should. So I was lacking breast tissue, and therefore, for anyone, it's important that you go and you find, the right surgeon, but especially if you are getting something fixed. For me, it was just vital that I went to the right person. But, because of that, I was seeing lots of conflicting stuff online as to how to fix this issue, and I really didn't know what the answer was myself. The surgeons that I went to see were very much, well, it's up to you. What do you want? Do you want round? Do you want teardrop? Do you want this? Do you want that? And it's like, well, I don't know. I need you to guide me and to advise me. So the last surgeon that I went to see was actually the best reviewed in my area. I had to wait 6 months on the consultation, which I think is a really good sign. And I then had to wait another few months before I could get in for the surgery. So it was like night and day, the experience with the surgeon that I ended up choosing compared to the first people that I'd went to. I was with him for over an hour. He went through all the potential complications. He showed me plenty of before and after pictures, and a few of the techniques and options that were given to me by the first couple of surgeons. He said if I had went with any of them, basically he advised the complete opposite. And it potentially would have made the problem a lot worse, and I would have been, extremely unhappy. So from the get-go, it was just a different experience. He really took his time. He was really thorough, and he had a really calming presence about him, and just really likeable. And on top of that, I'd heard a lot of good reviews from girls that have had their boobs done, and girls who have been to him before or know of people that have went to him. What we ended up deciding on was 400 cc's in this boob and 425 in this boob. I went for partials, which is half under the muscle and half over. So you're half under at the top, and then the bottom half is over, which just gives it a lot more kind of pronounced and round full shape at the bottom of the breast, and that's really what I was going for and needing. High profile round silicone gummy implants. I went a little bit back and forth with the size, but in the end up I went with his best recommendation. I could have went one size up. The maximum I could have got would have been 425 and 450, but the advice I got from my surgeon was don't fret too much about the size, especially if it's between two sizes, because he said that say 400 compared to 425 is the equivalent of a couple packets of sauce. You know, you get the wee packets of like ketchup on a burger. If you get two of them and you put it on the burger, then that is literally all the differences in size. In the end up, I just said, listen, I'll go with what you feel is best, and that is what he felt was best for me and for my body size and shape. So to begin with, I was a very small A stroke, well no, like an A stroke small B. And I would say I am now a D, a full D. The difficulty is your breasts do keep on changing. They will continue to change as the weeks and months go on. I actually believe that they can keep changing up to a year. So particularly in your first 6 weeks, you're not really going to know what size you are, and you will continue to change. But I'm hoping that I'll end up being a D stroke double D. They actually look bigger on camera, and this scratch that I've got here, that was actually one of my cats, so that was nothing to do with the surgery. You can see that they love me a lot. So yeah, so that's what I decided to go for. I'm just trying to think about what else he said. Yep, that was pretty much it. So went in the day, excuse me, I'm filming a bloody video. Did you just see that little cheeky fly coming in to be the star of my video? I don't think so. The day of the surgery, I was absolutely shitting myself. Sorry, I'm just making sure I've not got any nipples showing. I am not good with pain. Like, I'm really, really not good with pain. I'm not good with needles. I've not got any tattoos, and I've never had any surgeries before. Went in, he came to see me, he drew all my markings, and I started crying just because of how nervous I was. And the last thing that he said to me was, I need you to stay as calm as possible. He said, I'm going to just let me work my magic. And work his magic, he really, really did. So I went in. The biggest thing that I was scared about was the anaesthetic, and I kept asking my friends, are you dreaming? Are you aware? Do you know? Do you remember anything when you wake up from being put to sleep? And do you know what, guys? Literally, you don't. Like, I lay on the table and I was just trying to do deep breaths, and the nurse said, that's us putting the anaesthetic in now. And I just shut my eyes and I was crying, and I just imagined being in a bikini, looking great, on holiday, drinking a cocktail. And the next minute, I was being woke up by two nurses as they were putting my surgical bra on in the recovery room. So for the next few hours, I was in and out of sleep. They actually ended up coming through and putting me on a drip because they said I was a bit too sleepy for their liking. They were really trying to wake me up. Obviously, just the anaesthetic knocked me for six. The worst part of the first night, when I woke up, I've heard people saying it's like an elephant sat on their chest, it's really heavy. Guys, I didn't have any of that, and I've not actually had any of that throughout this full experience. I've not felt really any heaviness on my chest. I also have heard a lot of people say that first night, and also during the first week, that they've had to have someone push them up from their back out of bed. I didn't have to have anyone help me with that. Straight away the first night, I was very mobile. I was able to lift myself up. I was moving my arms pretty freely, and really, I wasn't really in any pain. I would say the worst thing was the anaesthetic wearing off, feeling extremely nauseous, but they gave me anti-sickness tablets and ended up giving me an injection in my thigh, which is like an anti-sickness injection because I was sick a few times. And then going into the first week, that was probably the worst part of it, was how the anaesthetic really, you know, it's surgery, guys. It's not easy, and it does affect different things with your body. So for me, the hardest thing was my body going through the anaesthetic and recovering from that. In the morning of the next day, the morning that I left the surgery, my friends were texting me, how did it go? And I was like, yes, it was great. Oh my God, it was like, I feel great, like I'm not even in any pain. To be fair, I do think that was the morphine talking. As the morphine and stuff was wearing off, you know, it is sore, but it's definitely bearable. You know, to be honest, I've had some really bad migraines before, and I've been in a lot more pain with them. But what I want to say as a disclaimer to this is this was my experience, and this was quite rare to other people that I know, and most people that I know, even most of the videos that I've watched. I do think a lot of it comes down to the surgeon and their technique. I'd asked my surgeon why I was finding it quite, you know, really bearable, and a lot of it is down to the technique. If they're really taking their time and they're not just rushing the job and, you know, bursting blood vessels as they're cutting through you. I'm sorry, I know that's a bit, you know, a bit graphic, but it can really make or break your recovery period, is what I'm trying to say, depending on the surgeon you go to, his technique, how gentle he is with you, and how much time that it really takes to do the job. So I definitely think that had a lot to do with it, but please be aware that I don't want you to watch this video and get the impression that it's easy, so let's all go get boob jobs. No, it's not, and I've heard some horror stories. Most of my friends have all had horrific recoveries from their boob jobs, so please bear that in mind. But that said, it's not always as bad as some of the things that you hear, and mine, luckily, thank God, was actually a really positive experience. So yeah, pretty much for the first week, I would say the first 5 days are the worst. The first 4 to 5 days, I had a pregnancy pillow and I had pillows propping myself up. I've seen a lot of videos where the girls said that they weren't able to sleep on their side, they weren't able to sleep flat on their back, and they had a lot of trouble sleeping. I was taking Valium along with my pain meds, which is a muscle relaxant, because you find that sometimes your muscles can cramp up, but that was also helping me sleep at night. So I was taking that. What I would say is listen to your surgeon and what they advise you. Every surgeon has different ways of practicing. My surgeon personally said that it was fine for me to sleep on my side, I could sleep on my back. He also doesn't use strapping, he doesn't do any of these practices. And yeah, basically, you know, every surgeon is different, and for my surgeon, he said that there's reasons, particular reasons why a lot of surgeons tell you to sit up, and it's because that's what they were taught, and that's what the person that taught them was taught. But getting your boobs done all those years ago is very, very different to now. He said that a lot of the reason why you were always told to sit upright is because back in the day, to avoid capsular contracture, is it, I think, they would make the pocket a lot larger, which would leave more room for the implant to move. But my surgeon, and he said most surgeons these days, they just do what they need, that implant's not moving. So he said, listen, don't worry, you can go like this, you can go like this, your implant is not going to move. And he's never seen anyone have any issues from sleeping on their side. So that definitely helped me in my comfort levels. So I didn't have any of the issues of having a sore backside, a sore back, anything like that, and I was able to sleep at night. But as I say, definitely take the lead on your own individual surgeon with that one. I just done a lot of watching Netflix. I was able to shower the next night. I didn't have any drains in. I just had some waterproof plasters under my incisions, and my incisions were under here. And pain-wise, expect to feel some tingling, expect to feel cramping. So I actually had more pain in my right than my left, and it was my right that was really giving me bother. Not bother, but the left I didn't really have any pain in. The right one, it's like it would cramp up and it would be really tense, but it would last for maybe 1 to 2 minutes, like a muscle spasm. So that's kind of the pain that I would have. I would also feel just little random kind of twinges and shooting pains, but overall, I mean, it was bearable. You know, I can't say that it wasn't. What I really struggled with was bloating. So all the pain meds and the general anaesthetic, and this is again very common with breast augmentations in your post-op recovery, is being really swollen. So I looked 9 months pregnant, and that was really getting me down. You know, you're lying there, you can't go to the gym, you're maybe not eating the best, you know, and I actually lost my appetite, which is another thing. The general anaesthetic for me and the pain meds really made me lose my appetite. Things also tasted a bit different. So even though I was losing weight, which I was quite happy to lose a few pounds, I felt awful because every time I looked in the mirror, I kept saying, I was going, I look like the Trunchbull, you know, the Trunchbull out of Matilda. I felt awful. So that does take a bit of a toll on you. I also suffered with some constipation. It's not that pleasant, but you know, guys, that is another side effect of getting your boobs done, and it's very, very common. So I suffered with that probably for about 5 or 6 days, which wasn't the most pleasant. So yeah, pain wise, I was taking strong painkillers that they gave me, ibuprofen and paracetamol, and I was rotating it all, sometimes getting up and taking it through the night as well. I pretty much after the first few days was using bio oil. Oh, sorry if you heard that, the fire engine outside. I hope everyone's okay. Do not just do that. Anytime I hear an ambulance or a fire engine, I'm like, oh God, I pray. I literally say a wee prayer to myself that I hope the person's okay. But anyway, back to as I was saying, bio oil, I already had some light white stretch marks on my breasts, and so I have been covering them in bio oil pretty much every day. And I have got some stretch marks up here. I don't know if you can really see them in camera, but to be honest, it doesn't really bother me that much. Trying to think. Yeah, pregnancy pillow is a great thing to get. That really helps you stay propped up and helps you with your recovery. So what else? Oh, my mind is going blank. Yeah, sports bras, one thing that I have really struggled with. So going into surgery, I bought one of those, is it Macom or something? The surgical bras. But the swelling had swole up so much that it was just felt too tight and really uncomfortable. Like my breasts were bursting, it was really digging in. So I ordered some zip up front, cheap sports bras. Honestly, they're like £8. £8 off of Amazon, next day delivery, great, godsend. So after a few days, I was into different sports bras, and they really helped me a lot with my comfort levels. That is one thing that has been so annoying though, is finding the right support and the right comfort. Now your breasts are going to keep on changing. They will keep on changing right up to 6 weeks, then right up to a year. So you're not really going to know your size. Like obviously breasts, they do what's called drop and fluff. So eventually they sit up quite high, especially if it's under the muscle. It then drops into the breast pocket that has been made. And the bottom, your skin and your muscle and everything is dead tight now. So as that loosens off, then they fluff up. So definitely bear that in mind, because with sizing, also when you're looking in the mirror, because to begin with, you're looking and I'm going, I should have went bigger, and I actually keep looking at before and after pictures of the drop and fluff to reassure me that even though the swelling goes down, they're being held, they're being squished, you know, so they will end up looking bigger and a lot more natural as time goes on. Finding sports bras though have been a nightmare. Because of all my bloating, it was too tight round my band. So I'm usually like a 34 post-surgery. I bought a 36 that was too tight. I then had to get a 38 band. I've had a D, I've had a double D. I even ended up buying an F at one point, which was then too big. And I probably bought about 18 different bras, and I don't know whether it's just me, because I've read forums and other girls that have said, oh, you know, they stopped wearing their post-operative bra, they went in this sports bra and they were really comfortable. That wasn't the case for me. It was like a bloody game of guess who, guess which bra, you know, and that was what was really frustrating, was, you know, I could have been a lot more comfortable. But we're starting to get there now, definitely starting to get just a lot more easier. The swelling's going down now, and I'm starting to feel a bit more comfortable in the sports bras that I am wearing. Yeah, so all in all, recovery has been, you know, as I said, it has been pretty good, pretty painless. I'm so happy with the result. You know, you need to be patient. So your boobs are going to keep on changing. Now, I've been taking pictures from day one right through until now. And, you know, just in this short time, my boobs have literally, like, they just keep on changing every single day. Don't be alarmed if your nipple is sitting quite low down, because the implant is going to drop into its pocket, and as your implant drops, your nipple will move up into center place. So you just need to be patient, and that's like what they always say, trust the process. So trust the process and they'll end up looking great. Trust me, they will. I mean, I'm still going through the process and I'm getting impatient. Like, I just wish I could fast forward time and we get to the get to third, fourth, fifth, sixth week to see what they look like. But I've spoke to friends who are 5 years down the line and they're like, trust me, once they drop a year down the line, you'll be wanting them back up again. So I'm trying to just enjoy every part of the process that I'm going through and really just make the most of it. So where we're at now, I went and got my plasters off and my wounds checked. So I had two waterproof plasters under here and the nurses took them off. I was so scared. I was expecting to see big red dark scars and I have been so blessed. I have nothing there. So after a week they have healed so quickly. The scars are basically invisible. Like, I literally cannot see a thing under there. Now I just have these little strips on, as you can see, and they are going to be on for the next week, and then I just take them off myself. So yeah, as I said, the whole time I've been pretty mobile. Now I'm pretty much able to do anything. I can go, I've been out and about. I went to get my nails done today, which, girl, you know, like, I was kicking about with no nails on for like 2 weeks there, and you know what it's like. You feel like a whole new woman when you go get your nails and your toes done. So yeah, I'm really starting to get back to my usual self. I've already been to Ann Summers and bought a whole load of new lingerie. No underwires though, that's one thing. You can't actually wear any underwire for quite a while, and I don't actually think underwire is that good for fake boobs. But I've already been treating myself. Oh, need to show off the girls. And yeah, overall it was just a great experience. Like, I'm so glad that I did it. I just think what I've took out of this is I could have easily have been botched, and I learned how easy it is and why so many girls do end up getting botched or have complications. And I really hope anyone watching this, that you have got, you know, some little golden nuggets out of it, that you have got some useful information. I hope you've got some info out of this that you've maybe not heard elsewhere in other videos. And just please make sure that you do your research, you go to the right person. That really will make or break your experience. And yeah, really good luck to you. You know, enjoy your brand new boobies if you're getting them or if you're thinking about getting them. So yeah, I really hope that you found today's video insightful. If you have any comments, please leave them below. I am going to come back with some more post-op boob post-op updates and a couple more videos. So yeah, please like and subscribe. That's what they say here, isn't it? And stay tuned for some more videos. Like, I hope to see you back here again. And yeah, I just hope that you found that useful. Thank you guys. Mwah.